The nature of global conflict is changing. Gone are the days of large-scale military confrontations. Instead, a new battleground has emerged: the global economy. Countries now flex their muscles through trade deals, tariffs, and economic sanctions. In this new era, economic power is the weapon of choice. The rivalry between the United States and China exemplifies this shift. The two superpowers are locked in a trade war, imposing tariffs and restrictions on each other's goods. This economic maneuvering has global repercussions, impacting economies and alliances worldwide. India finds itself caught in the crosshairs of this rivalry. As a rising economic power and a key player in the Indo-Pacific region, India's role in this new world order is critical. Its relationship with China, marked by both cooperation and competition, is particularly significant. Understanding the dynamics of this silent trade war is crucial for anyone interested in geopolitics and the global economy. The outcomes of these economic skirmishes will shape the future of international relations and determine the balance of power for decades to come. The trade relationship between India and China is increasingly unbalanced, with a significant trade deficit in favor of China. This disparity has been steadily growing over the past 2 decades, raising concerns in India about its dependence on its neighbor. In 2023, India's trade deficit with China reached a record high. This imbalance is largely driven by the influx of Chinese manufactured goods into the Indian market, ranging from electronics to machinery. While China remains India's largest trading partner, the gap in their trade volumes is a point of contention. This trade deficit has multiple implications for India. It contributes to a loss of domestic manufacturing jobs and hinders the growth of Indian industries. Furthermore, it creates an over-reliance on Chinese imports, potentially exposing India to economic vulnerabilities. The widening trade gap is a clear indicator of the challenges India faces in competing with China's manufacturing prowess. Addressing this imbalance is crucial for India's economic security and its ability to assert itself as a global power. China's export strategy is not merely about selling goods, it's about strategic economic influence. By targeting specific sectors where India is import-dependent, China effectively creates leverage. This approach has raised concerns about soft coercion through trade. China has strategically targeted sectors where India's domestic production is weak. This includes essential goods like pharmaceuticals, electronics, and increasingly, renewable energy components. This dependence gives China significant economic leverage over India. For instance, India imports over 70% of its active pharmaceutical ingredients, or APIs, from China. This reliance became glaringly apparent during the COVID-19 pandemic, when disruptions to Chinese supply chains threatened India's pharmaceutical industry. This strategic targeting of key sectors raises concerns about India's economic sovereignty. It underscores the need for India to diversify its supply chains and boost domestic production to reduce its vulnerability to external pressures. India's dependence on Chinese imports extends far beyond a few specific sectors. From everyday consumer goods to critical infrastructure projects, Chinese products have become ubiquitous in India. This reliance, while seemingly benign on the surface, has far-reaching consequences. Walk into any Indian household and you'll likely find a plethora of Chinese-made products. Smartphones, televisions, kitchen appliances, toys, the list goes on. This influx of affordable Chinese goods has flooded the Indian market, often outcompeting domestic products. This dependence extends to crucial sectors like telecommunications and power generation. Chinese companies have secured major contracts in India's infrastructure development, raising concerns about potential security risks and technology transfer. While affordable Chinese imports may seem appealing to consumers, this reliance comes at a cost. It stifles the growth of Indian industries, leads to job losses, and creates a strategic vulnerability that China can exploit. Section 5. Soft coercion, China's trade tactics and global implications. China's use of trade as a tool of soft coercion is not limited to India. It's a pattern observed in China's dealings with countries around the world. By leveraging its economic clout, China attempts to influence political decisions and extract concessions. Australia and Japan have experienced China's economic pressure firsthand. When Australia called for an independent inquiry into the origins of COVID-19, China responded with trade restrictions on Australian exports like wine and barley. Similarly, when Japan nationalized disputed islands in the East China Sea, it faced economic retaliation from China. These examples highlight how China uses trade as a weapon to punish countries that challenge its interests. This strategy has significant implications for the global order. It undermines the rules-based trading system and raises concerns about China's willingness to use its economic might for political gain. Section 6. India's Fight Back, Promoting Domestic Production and Reducing Dependency. Recognizing the risks associated with its reliance on China, India has embarked on a multi-pronged approach to reduce its dependence and boost domestic manufacturing. This involves a combination of government initiatives, policy changes, and efforts to attract foreign investment. The Make in India initiative, launched in 2014, is a flagship program aimed at transforming India into a global manufacturing hub. The program offers incentives to attract foreign investment and encourages domestic companies to expand their manufacturing capabilities. India has also implemented policies to protect domestic industries from cheap Chinese imports. This includes imposing anti-dumping duties and raising tariffs on certain Chinese goods to level the playing field. Furthermore, India is actively seeking to diversify its supply chains by forging trade partnerships with other countries. This includes strengthening ties with nations like Japan, South Korea, and Australia, which share India's concerns about China's economic dominance. Section 7. Challenges and Progress. India's Balancing Act. While India's efforts to reduce its dependence on China are commendable, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. Overcoming decades of underinvestment in manufacturing, improving infrastructure, and navigating complex geopolitical realities will require sustained effort. One of the biggest challenges India faces is its lack of a robust manufacturing ecosystem. Building a competitive manufacturing sector requires substantial investment in infrastructure, technology, and skilled labor, which will take time and resources. Moreover, India must strike a delicate balance between protecting domestic industries and remaining open to foreign investment. Excessive protectionism could stifle innovation and discourage foreign companies from investing in India. Despite these challenges, India has made notable progress in certain areas. The growth of India's renewable energy sector, for instance, is a testament to its potential to become a global leader in emerging industries. Section 8. The Global Stage Trade Wars and the Future. The silent trade war between India and China is not an isolated incident. It's a microcosm of the larger geopolitical shifts taking place on the global stage. As countries prioritize economic security and strategic autonomy, we can expect to see more such trade tensions in the future. The outcome of this trade war will have significant implications not only for India and China, but for the global economy as a whole. A more self-reliant India could emerge as a counterweight to China's influence, potentially reshaping global trade patterns. For readers, understanding these dynamics is crucial for navigating the complexities of the 21st century. As trade wars become the new normal, staying informed about their implications is essential for making sense of the world around us.